We also want to educate our viewers out there about this whole idea of this impeachment and the next phase in terms of moving that to the Senate. One of the things that I find, interesting again in the conversation is strategy of how this thing is going to work. So I want to talk to you about what is Nancy Pelosi doing? Why is she withholding the articles of impeachment from the Senate? And do you think that makes a lot of sense?
Yeah, I think Nancy Pelosi is proving how America would operate and what it would look like to have a woman president. I think Nancy Pelosi is making the best case for a woman president. She's 2 heartbeats away from being president and as Speaker of the House. And she has proven that she knows how to play this game. Mitch McConnell is only manipulating rules. He's not proving himself to be as smart as people give him credit for. All he did was bully in the Neil Gorsuch appointment because he could, not because he was sharp and smart. Nancy Pelosi outsmarted everybody. And everybody's still trying to figure out, about 8 days later, what did Nancy Pelosi do and how should it be interpreted? And the brilliance of it, she can hold these charges, and that's what they are, charges and indictments. That's what they are, indictments, as long as she wants. And that's her fiduciary legal authority and power. But at the same time, the political effect is it's actually leading to more exposure of Donald Trump. As New York Times recently reported in the last 2 days, new revelations about Donald Trump's knowledge and interaction and the existence of emails related to the Ukraine that did not exist even when the articles of impeachment were drawn and voted on. So Nancy Pelosi, just by holding these articles, the truth is leaking out in days, not weeks, not months. So if she just holds it out, if she had stopped on Wednesday of last week, because everybody said, stop, Nancy, turn these things over. Do you understand that the new revelations that have come out about the Ukraine and about prior knowledge that damns Trump and damns the Republican defense of Trump and basically gives them no legitimate reaction, which is probably why they're desperately going to war with Iran right now, is all because Nancy Pelosi held on to these things. It is the most brilliant thing anybody's done in American politics in terms of legitimate politics, not corrupt politics like stealing the election and they will be repudiated in history for this behavior. But in terms of positive politics, affirmative politics, in terms of politics being done for the common good, for democracy, so-called, Nancy Pelosi proved herself the smartest woman in the room. And when she stood up, and it's symbolized in the image that went viral, and when Nancy Pelosi stood up in a room with all men around a round table, about 35, 40 men, and she stood up and pointed her finger to Mitch McConnell and to the Republicans and withstood them to their face. And that's what she's done with this stroke of a move. And the media, which I've lost faith before in CNN, MSNBC, and I never had faith in Fox. And I stopped watching cable news because all of this whataboutisms or this both sides, like Trump, in Charlottesville. But the American media has contributed, I think, tremendously to Donald Trump and his viability against all of the metrics that normal political science would say he's dead in the water.